Okay, boys, so we're going to go through some examples now. Now, this first one says, write the equation for the axis of symmetry in each parabola. They have given you a drawing of the parabola. They have not given you its equation. But with the drawing, you can just look at it, draw the axis of symmetry in, and answer the question. It's easy. So all you do is get your red pen, look at where the two X-intercepts are, and like we just did in the proof that I did in the extension, if you've got two X-intercepts, if you average those X-intercepts, you'll get to the middle. When you get to the middle, that's where the vertex has to be. So if we converge from the 0 and the 6 into the middle of those is 3. So we know that the axis of symmetry is going to pass straight through there. So you can get your ruler. Pretend I've got a ruler. You do it with a ruler. And draw straight through there. With a dotted line, that's your axis of symmetry. Its equation, it's going through 3 on the x-axis, so it's x equals 3. So you don't have to actually go into the substituting into the formula when you're looking at a drawing. So this one here, the same thing. We're looking at a drawing. We have an x-intercept of -4 and an x-intercept of 2. Now you might not be able to do this one as easily as getting the middle of 0 and 6. You might not be able to do it in your head. That's okay. But you know that you average your x-intercepts. So if you just do, I'll get my -4 and 2, add them together and divide by 2, and just put that in your calculator and see what happens. And we end up with -1. That's it. So x equals -1 is your axis of symmetry. If you want to draw it in up the top here, you can. You can imagine -1, I haven't drawn this to scale, -1 would be in the middle of -4 and 2 because it's 3 units away from the -4 and 3 units away from the 2, so it is in the middle. And if you drew it in, there's your axis of symmetry with the equation of x equals -1 because it's passing through -1 on the x-axis. Okay, just write this one down over here so we can see it. And there's your two answers. So there's no substituting into any formula if they give you a drawing. If they don't give you a drawing, we're going to use our formula. So here's the equation they've given you here, and they've said to you we want the equation of the axis of symmetry, and in the second part we want the coordinates of the vertex. So we're going to do our axis of symmetry formula, x equals -b over 2a. Now remember the a is the thing in front of the x squared, which in this case is -1, and the b is the number in front of the x, which is 8. So we're going to put a equals -1 and b equals 8 into our formula. So a equals -1 and b equals 8. I know I made some mistakes on this in the last one of the other videos, so just check my work, and if there's any mistakes, let me know, especially with negatives. So we have a minus here. This is 8 over -2. If you multiply those out, you can throw it in your calculator at any time, and that gives you 4. So our answer for the equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals 4. Do not give me equals 4. It's wrong. This will be a 1-mark question in the test. It's x equals 4 or it's nothing. Okay, in part 2 we're doing the vertex. Now, you know that the axis of symmetry passes through the vertex. You can see this one is passing through the vertex. So if you found the equation of the axis of symmetry, that is the x-coordinate for the vertex. All you've got to do now is take that x-coordinate, put it back into the original parabola, and see what you end up with. Just be careful when you're subbing in here that where the x is, you're putting the 4. Just put it in brackets. Everywhere you see the x, you're going to put a 4, but put it in brackets. If you put it in your calculator like that with the brackets in there, you'll get the right answer. So be careful. Okay, so we end up with y equals 5. Put these together and your vertex has the coordinates 4, 5. All right, in B, we've been given, now I know you can't see it, there's a bit of a glare on the board. Let's see if I can move this around. No, makes no difference. Anyway, it says y equals 24x minus 3x squared. y equals 24x minus 3x squared. Still doesn't make much difference. Okay, so what you're going to do is take the 24x and the minus 3x squared and switch terms. We're still staying on the right-hand side. Nothing is changing sign because we're not moving over to the left-hand side. So we're just rearranging the order of the terms because we need the x squared term to be written first. It has to be in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c order. So the whole x squared term minus 3x squared is moving to be written first. The 24x, which is actually plus 24x, will move over to here and be written second. So now we're looking at y equals minus 3x squared plus 24x. The a is minus 3. The b is positive 24. So we're going to do our axis of symmetry formula. X equals minus b over 2a. Put a equals minus 3 in. Put b equals 24 in. Then keep going down and you'll end up again with x equals 4. For part 2, the vertex, if you've found x equals 4 for your equation of your axis of symmetry, that is the x coordinate for the vertex because the vertex is on the axis of symmetry, or the axis of symmetry passes through the vertex. When you get that 4, put it back into the original. You can put it into either one of those, but I just threw it back into the first one. Sub in your 4 for your x, and you get 48. So our coordinates are x equals 4, y equals 48, and put them together for your vertex. So I'm coming back in the third video just to go through a few more questions in a bit more detail with a few more parts.